We're down by the flight line with what is perhaps one of the more unusual displays here at Oshkosh, and I'm talking with John Bjornstedt. This is the Tsunami Restoration Project. And John, if you can just explain to us kind of what happened to this airplane.
Well, this aircraft was my grandfather's. It's a purpose-built race plane designed around a Merlin engine. It was designed to go for the 3-kilometer speed record and also to go race in the limited class out at the Reno air races. It raced for about 5 years. It was a highly competitive racer, taking usually in the top 3 positions out at Reno. Also, it did go for the speed record, but tragically it had a gear malfunction and was put down. My grandfather was bringing it back from the Reno races in 1991. He was making a pit stop in South Dakota, and on final approach he set the flaps down and one broke, and the actuator actually pushed it up, and the other one went down and caused him to roll, and it was unrecoverable. It was too low to the ground, and tragically he lost his life in the accident. Now it's about 19 years later. My aunt and I, Sharon Sandberg, are starting a project to rebuild the aircraft and ultimately go for the 3-kilometer again and go out to Reno and race the craft.
What's going to go into this restoration project? Because as folks can see, the airplane well, there's no other way to say it, it's in pieces.
Yeah, it's completely totaled, but luckily we were able to keep all the tooling and jigging, all the plans. It was modified a few times since the original plan, so we're going to have to do a little bit reverse engineering. But Flight Expo is a nonprofit that we're working with out of Minneapolis, and we have a lot of volunteers helping out. Also, we're selling all this merchandise and trying to do our own grassroots fundraising. Really, it's just going to be a lot of man hours, trying to take as much volunteer work as we can, and any handouts are appreciated.
So as you go about this restoration project, are you having to recraft many of the parts yourself? Not something you can go buy off the shelf to do this rebuild?
Yeah, everything we have to completely rebuild. You can't buy any of the parts. The only thing that we can take is a Merlin engine, the tail wheel assembly, and the main landing gear. Other than that, we have to rebuild absolutely everything.
What do you estimate the cost of the rebuild to be, John?
I'd say about $500,000 after everything's said and done, and that's not including any labor. If we had to pay for labor, it'd probably be about a $2 million project. And
so are you doing a lot of this work yourself? Are you having other folks come in and help you out? How is that working?
It's mainly myself and my uncle. He's a A&P and a IA, and we go up and work on it about 4 or 5 days a week. And we also have days like Thursdays is a volunteer day, and we have about 5 volunteers that come up.
Did this project spark your interest in aviation, or was it something that you were interested in before this came along?
This is what I grew up into, was Tsunami. I was born in '85. Tsunami's first flight was '86, so I was around air racing every day of my life when I was up until 6 years old, and that's when my grandfather passed away. Now, yeah, this project sparked my interest. I went out and got my private in, I think it took me about 2 months. I'm doing my instrument and commercial currently. Everyone around here is saying it's quite a big project, and I think it's going to take 25 years to build it. But I'm shooting for 3 years, and I think if you're determined enough, you can do anything you want.
Aero-TV is brought to you by
Integra Release 9 sets a new standard with the easiest to use pilot interface in all of general aviation. Access to any of Release 9's powerful capabilities is as simple as pressing the desired bidirectional page key. Pressing the same key in a desired direction navigates to the clearly labeled tabs with no more guessing as to what a given pilot input would do. Avidyne's Integra Release 9 is the next generation in fully integrated flight deck technology, and the easiest to use page and tab user interface is just one of the many benefits designed to make your flying easier and safer.